What's up, everybody? Let's see if this works. Start. What happens when I start? There it is. There's your prize, Dark Angel. You get to go up on my screen. Got your email today, by the way. Matter of fact, Dark Angel, I just looked at it. Just noticed that you sent it around, said 11:40 this morning. It came in. So literally about 15 minutes ago, I just saw that. Yeah, sister, whenever. I'm down. All right, so how about next Monday? Not putting you on the spot or nothing, but it's just like we said, you know, we'll just come up here, we'll shoot the shit, you know. Hopefully the weather's nice, hopefully the campfire is roaring like it is right now. We will just hang out. All right, next Monday. I'll shoot you some emails this week. All right, we'll bounce some ideas off of each other. Just hit me up with anything that you want to talk about, and we'll get it talked about. Sound like a plan? All right. Who else is up in here? I saw Willow in here. All right. Yeah, anytime, sister. You know, we're all here to pretty much accomplish the same goal, right? Just to get that word out, spread that information. You know, hopefully wake people up. I mean, shit, if they ain't awake by now, then God help them, right? I don't think I'm going to be surviving wearing this this hoodie here with this fire going behind me. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. So we're gonna get down here. Oh. Gonna gear it down. Oh, that's better. A little bit better. So yeah, I get to see the campfire right in my screen here. Pretty much the same way you guys are seeing it, right? So that's how we're doing it. So how was everybody's weekend? What's going on? Again, yep. I got Sunday, Mondays off. Monday is part of my weekend, so I'm gonna back this bitch up a little bit because this fire is out of control, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Caitlin? Lynn? That's a little bit better. Last thing you guys need to see is Matt Outdoorsman's chair melting here from the fire. Actually, that makes for some a lot of likes and a lot of views, I guess. So, fuck it, let him melt away. CMO, what's up? Let's see. Let's put that up there. Yeah, you know what's funny about that? If you watch that video very carefully, there is a woman. I believe she was wearing green. Focus this camera a little bit better here. And she goes up and she taps his hand right as he freezes. Check that out. It's very subtle, but it's almost like as if on cue. He he freezes up as soon as this woman taps his hand on it. That's as he's grasping the side of the boat, and then he just goes dead silent. He's a fucking alien. That's my thoughts. I mean, this is why they're talking about the UFOs, right? So, I don't know. I call it term limits. But yeah, check that out. There's a bunch of videos on it. You know, for those of us that, you know, don't mind donning the tinfoil hats. And it appeared that the woman had something in her hand. I don't know if it was some needle or what. Something. But yeah, check it out. All right, so yeah, I'm telling you, Doc Angel, check that out. Oh, Lynn, looks like you were busy selling your home, huh? Yeah, those interest rates, they just keep climbing higher and higher. You know, I wish you the best of luck. I would say in the next year or so, Mrs. Outdoorsman here, her and I, we're going to be looking for our own house. You know, so it's a hell of a time to buy a house, sell a house right now. So best of luck to you, Lynn. Yeah, for real. Lose it, people. Yeah. So I went on an 8-mile hike today, guys. 8-mile hike. There's a lot of, well, I won't say a lot. There's a few good hiking loops in the back of the outpost there. One is 6 miles long, another one's 8 miles long. There's a few other loops back there. So I went all in today, folks. I did the 8-mile loop, which is the biggest one that is back here, and I did it in just a little over 4 hours. I had a 50-pound rucksack on my back. And again, you know, it's what I keep preaching is you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations to train your body and train your mind, right? You know, so here we are. The last few hours here of July, it was about 83 degrees out today. Yeah, my legs, my 44-year-old legs feel like elastics, but all in all, I felt great. So yeah, absolutely. You know, I try to preach that, Doc Angel. Put yourself in those uncomfortable spots. You know, to train your body, train your mind, to get it right, get it ready for what's to come. You know, can't stress that enough. So. Anyway, folks, let's hop into it. We got a few things that I'd like to discuss tonight. All right, I got the coffee here. I got my dip. All right, I'm sporting the John Wayne T-shirt here. Got the campfire. That's probably got my back medium to well done right about now. But this is it. This is what it's all about, right? Mad broadcast, folks. Buckle up. I did take some notes this week. You know, I'm back and forth with the notes. But this entire broadcast will not be based off of the notes. You know, we're going to get into what's going on in everybody else's areas. You know, you chirp up, chime in, put your 2 cents in. You know, I like to feed off of the comment section here as much as I can with these broadcasts, you know, just to keep everything going. So a few things to talk about this week, guys. You know, number one, Russia. You know, that's always going to be in the news as long as that conflict is going on over there. We have the possibility of facing another declaration of emergency here at home. Basically, just like the C-19 that was declared a few years ago, we're looking at the possibility of an entirely different kind of an emergency being declared. All right, so stay tuned for that. And to close it up, we'll talk about this family that has fled the state of Florida. All right, because of some laws that are being passed down there pertaining to child mutil. I'm sorry, I almost said it? Gender affirming care is the politically correct fucking fruit tube terminology I probably should say on here, right? So, Backwoods, what's up, brother? Glad to see you here tonight, bro. All right, so what's happening in Russia, guys? Well, they're threatening nuclear retaliation against Ukraine. Big news this week, Ukrainian launched a series of drone attacks that were targeted in Moscow. And according to the sources here, which everything it will be in the description box at the bottom of my video after I post it, guys. Ukraine launched some drone strikes, all right? And a major city center in Moscow was hit early Sunday, okay? So it's basically putting the Russian government basically backing them into the ropes here and basically giving them no choice but to come out and say, hey, listen, if this shit keeps up, it's simply going to be no other way around it. We're going to end up using nuclear weapons against Ukraine. All right. And that's been stated already. Former Russian president, Dmitry Medvedev, all right, he came out, said it right off the rip. He warned that there is simply no other way out of its conflict with Ukraine than with the use of nuclear weapons, right? And I can see his point, because let's look at it like this. If the Ukrainians, along with the support of NATO, with this offensive that's taking place, happens to actually seize Russian land, I mean, what do you guys think is going to end up happening, right? They're going to have no other option, according to what they're saying here, the Ministry of Defense and allies close to President Putin. They're basically saying that, yeah, we're gonna light them up with nukes, So, Vladimir Putin came out. And, he's saying the same thing. Moscow doesn't want a conflict with NATO, but it's ready for any outcome. And for those of you guys that tuned into my broadcast last week, I brought up an interesting article about the Russian fighter jets that are being targeted and being locked on by U.S. warplanes, right, over the airspace of Syria. I was trying to get more information on that last week, and I was putting it out there. It was an article that I was paying close attention to, and lo and behold, there was some more information that came out about that. So I want to share that. Did you see the pics, though? It literally looks like someone threw a Molotov, not a drone strike. No, you know what, Lynn? I did see the pictures, and it was like basically it's a skyscraper, and there was like 3 or 4 windows blasted out, and the windows that were basically on the same level were left intact. Um, so obviously, of course, the wheel started spinning in my head, and I was saying, well, could that be a false flag? You know, um, the thing is with Russia and Ukraine, the shit that's been going on these past couple months in particular, with that whole fake government coup d'etat march, and then all of a sudden, the Wagner group turns around and about face and heads back the other way. I really can't. I really don't understand what's going on over there. I mean, I'm taking the news that's coming out over there with a grain of salt, and I'm particularly looking at the news that our own MSM is putting out, and I'm having a hard time believing it, because why? Well, I just said it, right? MSM, that pretty much ends it right there. That ends the explanation right there, right? I mean, it can't be trusted. They're putting out propaganda, and if you think that the Russian news and the Ukrainian news or whatever aren't doing the same thing, then yeah, they absolutely are, guys. So, um, I mean, shit, there's some folks that are coming out and saying, oh, there isn't even a conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine. It's all a psyop. I mean, uh, yeah, I don't know about that. What's up, Sandy? Yeah, so I mean, Vladimir, he comes out and says that Russia doesn't want a conflict with NATO, but they're ready for any outcome, and about these provocations that the U.S. warplanes um, engaging with Russian warplanes over Syrian airspace, and basically doing radar lock-ons against these jet fighters, which is causing the Russian jets to react by shooting out flares as countermeasures. Folks, there's been 23 incidents involving aircraft, okay, and though involving aircraft, which meaning Russian aircraft and those of the U.S.-led coalition this year alone, okay. Most of those incidents took place in July. And why am I sharing this information? Like, some people will say, well, they've been doing that for years. And I get it. I'm not disagreeing with you. But the fact that we are basically provoking, poking the bear, rattling the cage, whatever you want to call it, that right there should raise the antennas. Okay. Why are we in provocation mode? All right. Well, let's take a look at what's going on right here at home. All right. Our country is going to shit. All right. In my opinion, this leadership that we have down on Pennsylvania Avenue, okay, is the most corrupt that I have ever seen in my lifetime. All right. That's just my opinion. All right. So, Doc Brandon needs a war. Okay. I'm just going to come out and say it for what it is. All right. Yeah, Tyler, I 100%. Let's put that up there. Yeah, I mean, it's debacle after debacle, um, shit show after shit show, and it's just a continuing shit show. All right. So you got to take it with a grain of salt with what's coming out, and just tread lightly with it. Try not to make a big deal out of it. Try not to make too much noise from it until like you can get more information on it. I like to wait and see what else comes of it. I like to see what else is going on behind the scenes when a particular news story comes out. So there's always an agenda here, folks. Right? I think I'm preaching to the choir here. So moving forward, that's pretty much really it. with Russia and Ukraine news. There was a drone strike on Moscow yesterday morning, Russia time, Sunday morning. And now the Russian government's they're basically coming out and saying once again, listen, the only way to put this fucking shit to bed is to light them up with nukes. And not choosing sides here. I had not a fan of Russia. I could give a rusty rat's ass about Ukraine, but if I was Russia, I don't blame them. I mean, let's look at it here. Like, let's say a drone strike is bombs are getting dropped on cities near you. I mean, how would you expect us to retaliate from that? If a country, like we'll just say Canada, for instance, decides to bombard our cities every day with bomb attacks, how do you think we should respond to that? So I'm sitting here saying I can't blame Russia's stance that they're taking on it. So. Yes, I did see that, and I was going to talk about it tonight, Lynn. So that now that you brought it up, we'll discuss it. So if you guys haven't heard, there was a biolab that was discovered operating in I think it was the town of Needley, California. All right, run by a bunch of Chinese nationals. Okay, and I'm just going off the top of my head from what I read from the story last night. So bear with me if anybody has any more details that are fresh in their minds. Go ahead and add it in the comments. But apparently, a building inspector came across this lab. Okay, and I guess he saw a garden hose protruding from the back wall of this, what they thought was an empty warehouse. So upon further inspection, this building inspector goes inside this quote empty warehouse to inspect why is there a garden hose protruding from the back wall. Why is there fluid coming out of it? Well, he stumbles across an interesting find. I guess there were vials filled with a bunch of fluids, unnamed fluids, unknown fluids. Nothing was labeled. It looked like a testing site because they saw mice. I think there was almost 200 mice there, basically being tested with these injections or these fluids that were discovered in this biolab. And that at the end of the day, this illegal lab that nobody knew about, at the end of the day, it was determined that it was just that, a biolab that was operating illegally under false pretenses, unbeknownst to anybody, by a bunch of Chinese nationals. Okay. And what have we been discussing? Pretty much for the past, we're going into the 8th month this year, for the past 8 months, maybe longer, about all these Chinese nationals coming in through the southern border. It is definitely something to pay attention to, guys. Okay, because how many labs are there? I mean, they found just one, right? I mean, right here, Uncle Whiskey, what's up? One biolab found. How many more? Stay hidden. I mean, you're singing my song. They could be all over the place. They could be right here in my state. They could be in your state. Okay, so definitely something to pay attention to, and you got to ask yourself some questions about that. What are they doing? Are they testing biochemical weapons? Are they going to be transferring these said biochemical weapons to other cities and states right here in America? Who knows? Scary shit. All right, Pilgrim Prepper, hello. So there's that. So yeah, I'm glad that somebody brought that up. I was looking at it. I'm like, you know what? I should talk about it. I was like, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna end up bringing that up in the chat. And I'm glad Lynn did. All right. Um, so there's that. What's going on with all these Chinese nationals infiltrating our borders? Well, there you go. There's one example right there. Okay. Um, yeah, Uncle Whiskey, absolutely. They're already talking about it. There's already news articles coming out about a new outbreak of that. All right, so it's almost like the public is being softened with the blow of it actually. They're softening the blow by coming out with these stories about the possibility of a new outbreak, right? So, um, yeah, definitely concerning. Speaking of, we're gonna switch gears real quick here. Right here at home, guys, get ready for another emergency declaration. Okay, and we've all been through one very recent emergency declaration, and that was 3 years ago with the illness. Right, we saw the authoritarian actions that um, local governments, towns, states, blue states in particular, were taking against their citizens. Okay, businesses being shuttered. You had those face diaper mandates, right? So, well, get ready for another round, but it's in the name of a climate emergency, guys. All right. There's a lot of news coming out about the Doc Brandon getting ready to declare another, well, not another, because he hasn't declared anything. I don't even think he realizes that he shit his pants 20 minutes ago. But anyway, I digress. So the energy industry, guys, is fearing that Biden, Doc Brandon, is getting ready to declare a climate emergency. Okay, in particular, the U.S. Oil and Gas Association, right, the president of that association, is coming out and saying some things, and he's saying that pretty much the government, okay, Doc Brandon regime is leaning to that direction of declaring a climate emergency. Right? Imagine that, a climate emergency. Okay, and if you think it's not going to come with the same authoritarian measures, okay, and stance that this last emergency came out with, then you better think again, folks. Right? Because that's exactly what they are going to do. All right, all the writings on a wall on it, and I can see it happening. They're gonna use all these hot temperatures around the planet as an excuse because they're all talking about it now. All right, that's the thing with MSM guys and their propaganda. You have to read in between the lines. All right, when these folks put out these stories and ask yourself, why are they talking about this? Right. Um, And the thing is, guys, we all know that if you grant the president emergency powers to declare a climate emergency, it's going to be just like what we just said, that illness that happened right a few years ago, and it's going to give the president vast and unchecked authority, and you can bet your bottom dollar he's going to shut everything down. Okay, just like everything else was shut down. And you're like, well, Matt, it's a climate emergency. Why would they close businesses and shut everything down? And why would they censor free speech? All right, because that already happened, didn't it? Who would have thought? All right, sitting here today, that 3.5 years ago, whatever, that free speech would have been censored, right? All right, let's not get it twisted, folks. All right, this regime, okay, and I know, oh well, it was DJT, it was 45 that declared it. Yeah, it was. And the fact of the matter is this, guys, he was going up against the establishment. All right. We were dealing with something that was unprecedented, that was unknown. We were treading into a territory that was not just, it wasn't, we, it wasn't known, right? We didn't really, we were taking it day by day. I guess that's the words I'm looking for. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm sure the VP has plenty of fucking knee pads. Just saying, right? So the thing, guys, is that there's a lot of people coming together on this, um, that are calling for this climate emergency. All right. And they're looking at shutting down everything from communications to infrastructure. Okay. And we're looking at, looks like more than 60 congressional Democrats have co sponsored legislation that was already introduced to require Doc Brandon to declare a climate emergency. Okay. And Ice Cream Man himself has repeatedly said that the U.S. is in a climate crisis. Okay. Matter of fact, last summer he gave a speech right down here in the city that I live in, right outside of the city I live in, Somerset, Mass. And he was stating that there was a climate crisis here in the U.S. And on that occasion, along with several other occasions, he has called it a climate emergency. Okay, guys. So it's just something to look at. I mean, something to be prepared for, something to pay attention to. So, what does Matt? What does a climate emergency declaration look like? Okay. Well, under an emergency declaration, Doc Brandon could end crude oil exports. Okay. End all offshore oil and gas leases, restrict fossil fuel exports, and end hundreds of billions of dollars in overseas fossil fuel investments. Okay. And then that does what? It not only creates like sky high inflation, and you're paying $8 for a gallon of 87 regular, but um, and what drives our nation? It's the fuel prices, right? The fuel prices to the trucks that supply our grocery stores and supply all the other centers of where we go to get our our stuff for our daily needs, right? So that's just going to jack up prices of consumer goods in general, guys. Okay. So in a nutshell, that's what the emergency declaration could look like. Okay. Um, and again, I'll say it again. Could declaring a climate emergency result in the censoring of those disagreeing about a climate emergency? Yeah, because we've seen it already. Okay. I mean, if I disagree with wearing a face diaper, then, and I make a video about it here on this platform, okay, this platform will turn around and remove my video, okay, and label it as misinformation, fucking hate speech, call me racist, whatever, okay. So if we've seen it being done over one other instance, you can bet your bottom dollar we'll see it be done on this instance. Okay, so if you just keep in mind, guys, if you disagree with that, there's a climate crisis out there, just be prepared to be censored. Okay, because that's probably what they're going to end up doing. Okay, they will just shut free speech down, folks. All right, this government, they don't even hide behind it anymore, and that's the sad part about it. Okay, this government does not even hide behind it. They just come out and basically say it. All right, so if that's not tyranny for you, I don't really know what else is. And holy God, how I did not pop a dip yet. I can feel the blood pressure rising. So just talking about this. So let's get the nicotine fix in here, folks. Um, what's everybody saying here? David Lee. Let's see. What are you saying, Dave? This time more of a. that's the thing. People complied. Okay. Um, and what did we see? And I'm going off of the word comply here. All right. Um, what did millions upon millions of Americans do in the past 3 years, guys? They fled states. Okay, in particular blue states, right? That instead of being expected to comply with um, mandates, right, and other um, requirements. I got to be careful here. You know how it is on this platform, guys. Um, they got pissed off and they said, "Fuck this, we're leaving." You know, we're gonna go to Florida. You know, we're gonna go to these other states that basically, recognize the Constitution, right? And that's what a lot of people ended up doing. Um, so there was a political migration, right, guys? I mean, let's just call it for what it is. It was a political migration. What's up, Dragon Lady? Um, of millions upon millions of Americans that we've witnessed in the past few years, because a lot of these Americans, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say here that I would guess that most of everybody in this chat is on the same page here. Um, they were pissed off. They're like, "Fuck this, we ain't gonna comply." And if they had the means and ways to do it, they just up and left these blue states, okay, and they went to states like Florida and other red states that were freedom loving and loved the Constitution, right? So that's what we saw, a big political migration here, right? So I mean, how bad does it need to get? How many emergency declarations does there have to be to really um, what am I trying to say here? To really get people to stand up, right? To say screw this. I mean, do you think that the vast majority of Americans are going to sit back and allow themselves to become, for lack of a better term, slaves, right? Under being controlled by our government like we were in the past 3 years? Um, I know I'm not. I mean, screw it. I wasn't even complying back when they were doing it. I wasn't wearing these things. You know, um, there were recreational areas in my state, and I live in a blue state, guys, that were closed off. Okay, gated off. I couldn't go for a walk around a track. A walking track, and the town that I was living in. I fucking went in there anyway. At my job. Oh, you gotta wear these things. Fuck you. And put me out then. No, I'm not wearing it. And that's just the way it was. And even at the job, there was a lot of people were actually standing up and saying, "Screw this." I mean, there were some people that were complying, but I mean, if what I'm saying, guys, if this happens again, I mean, I really don't see people just bending the knee. All right, and I'm taking a Game of Thrones reference here. I don't see anybody. I don't see too many people bending the knee like they did the last time and complying to this fucking tyranny. All right, but that's just me. All right, that's my opinion. So that's that. That's the comment of the night right there, Caitlin. Now, the arrows on the floor in the grocery store saved millions. Yeah, they did. I mean, obviously, people should know what Caitlin I was referring to. You had to go up the grocery store aisles. It was a one-way street, basically. Because if you went down the wrong way, then you were spreading something, right? No, absolutely right, Dave. I agree. And that's the thing. More people need to stand up and basically give them the double barrel, you know, middle finger and say, yeah, that this isn't happening again, right? Um, so this brings me to my last story of the night. I don't know how many people saw this. This the Clinton News Network. I'm sorry, CNN. I like to go to CNN to check out what fucking ridiculous shit that they're shoving down the throats of on their platforms. And this story here, this took the cake. All right. So say it in the comments, guys, if you saw this story. Title of the article here is "Leftist Parents Flee Florida Because of Laws Blocking Child Mute." Oh, I'm sorry, gender affirming care. Okay. So basically, the long and short of it is this: there is a family in Florida. All right, Dave, you probably already heard of this one. All right, seeing that you are down there. All right. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
What up, dude?
Oh shit! What is up, brother?
Shit.
Look who we got here.
Been
Hold
working a
on a minute.
bunch, man. Hell, I've
What's
been
up,
catching you.
backwards?
I've been catching your live streams, man. They just been having to like watch the replay because my wife took like all her vacation at once, so she was off like a month, man. So I've been
Yeah.
spending a lot of time with her and shit.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is. What's up, everybody in chat? What's up, man? Go on with your story, bro. Go on with your story, man. The child need, I mean, the gender.
Yeah, that thing.
Affirming.
Yeah, but real quick
Right.
before I jump into it backwards, thanks for being here, brother. Same
Oh
here.
yeah,
I've been catching some of your videos. I saw that you've been busy with the business down there.
yeah,
Um, so that's a good thing, man. You're doing the things, keeping it real,
yeah.
brother. Real
Picked up
good.
another property Friday and another one today.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, I got a bunch. Anyway, go ahead,
Okay.
bro. Shoot.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw that story about this Florida family that wants to flee the state of Florida because they have like I said, the long and short of it is they have a transgender child that wants to basically go all the way and have that surgery. But we all have seen that Florida recently passed that law known as, what is it called, Senate Bill 254, which now makes it transgender surgeries and hormone therapies with irreversible effects illegal for minors in the state of Florida. It also requires people to use bathrooms and locker rooms according to their biological sex. All right, so this family down there in Florida has a big issue with this, and they're scared for their kid, and they're fleeing the state. All right. Um, if I was a Floridian, I would say good riddance. I think those type of people, and I'm not saying transgender in general. I'm saying people with that mindset, if they think they can coexist with normal everyday Americans, okay, and
Well, but they don't want to just coexist.
no,
They want you to like go out of your way. I actually watched a video earlier, bro.
yeah,
A little short. I was flipping through some little short videos there earlier, and I watched a video where this chick, she plays a lot of these transgenders, and like she's like, you know, on her little short there, and listens to them for a minute, and then she gives some commentary, and it's never, you know what I mean, she's against it and shit. And she said so this one transgender was like, that everybody out there, like you cis people out there, need to, well, like search out the transgenders in your community and offer to, now listen, offer to do something good for them, like, wash their dishes, or cut their yard, or wash their car, or get some groceries for them, because, well, they're dealing with all the problems that we're dealing with too, but then they're dealing with, that being a transgender, it's just so tough. And I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. I wished you,
for real.
man.
Yeah. I'll be right over. Yeah. You
See,
guys are
but
fucking
that's what I'm
crazy.
saying, man. See all this progressive ideas, man. They never want to stop. You know what I'm saying? They just, it's like they're good with all change. They think all change is necessary, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I don't know what the hell's. I mean, it's like, dude, not all change is good. And man, isn't it funny that a lot of the people who are saying that, the older, transgender community and gay community and such, not all of them, not all, but there's a lot of them that are, you notice how they're pushing for the laws to be able to sexualize your children. They're the same ones who are pushing for this shit, who want to get in the bathroom with your women. They want to get, in the bathroom with, or twerk in front of these children and shit, man. There's something wrong with these folks, man. And I'm gonna tell you the way I look at it. What you was talking about with the story from Florida, bro. I say adios, motherfucker. And hey, by the way, over there in another state, one of them Democrat states, you're a conservative over there. I see you, man. Hey, we got a house for sale right over here.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. I just brought that up earlier. We're seeing a huge they're calling it a political migration of millions upon millions of Americans that are just fleeing these blue states, right? Because they're fed up with this authoritarian bullshit, right? Um, somebody asked earlier, "Oh, what's wrong with these parents? What's wrong with them is that they're exploiting their kids, all right, and they're basically putting them on blast and being activists and expecting people to like I said, coexist earlier with this idea. No, see you later. Get the fuck out, all right, and go do you, all right. And this is where you're seeing the big separation, you know, um, the divide between the states here. And but look at what's going on in Michigan right now. They basically passed a law saying that if you misgender someone up there in Michigan, that you can go to prison for up to 5 years. Imagine that. They basically passed a law so you don't hurt somebody's fucking feelings, dude. How twisted is that?
Man, bro. Man, I'll be hurting people's feelings all the time, man. I got a buddy that lives here, man, and he he lives here in my town, you know what I'm saying? Man, bro, he's went through some tough shit, man. And I told him, I said, man, I'm always gonna be honest and upfront with you and stuff. He got, he's been through his second divorce. Things are terrible right now. And I tried to offer him to come up here, whatever. And he come up here one night, man, and we were gonna work on some woodworking stuff, right? And because that's something he's really good at. It's something he done for a living, made custom cabinets and stuff. And so I told him, man, come on up, yada yada. He comes up here, man, and the motherfucker is so high, man. He's stumbling over shit, and he breaks this slab wood that we went and got. He broke a big old piece off of it because he tripped and had to step real hard to keep from falling, and stepped right on it, man. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, man, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? And I was like, I smoked the weed too, man, but we're trying to work on a project right now.
Right.
Man, you know better than this shit, man. We got to be of some type of sound mind. We work on the project,
Right.
And then when we get done, we'll get high as fuck, man, and we'll sit back and look at it, and man, look at what we did. Hey, man, we could do this. So then the motherfucker didn't come back for several days, right? Didn't hear from him or nothing. So I called him one day, and I'm like, hey, bro, what's up, man? Man, man, I don't like being told I can't get high. And I said, I didn't tell you couldn't get high, bro. I said, don't be like fucking stumbling around. I mean, you shouldn't even been driving as high as you were. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker was stoned, boy. And I was like, I mean, real talk, bro. I mean, shit. You know, we're up here working with fucking saws and you know all kinds of different saws and drills and shit. Drill press over there. You know, I've got a the 4 inch belt sander. You know, one of them belt sanders, and then it's got a little disc, the 6 inch disc on the side. To man, I'm like,
You can't fuck around with that shit, man.
working with this, right, man, working with
Gotta
this
be on your
equipment,
game, man.
man. So but man, he's like, man, I mean, man, it was just kind of a negative vibe, man, and I can't handle the negativity right now. And I was like, bro, man, I was like, dude. So I hurt his feelings, man, and I was like, you know what, man? When you get done drowning in your fucking sorrows, come back up here and I'll help you to get back on your feet.
Yeah, for
You know
real.
what I'm saying?
And
Steer you right in the right direction, man.
that's the
And
thing I love about backwoods, man. You keep it real, brother. You know what I mean? You say it like it is. You put it how it is, and that's that. You know, there's
well,
no beating
I
around the
think
bush when it comes to you, bro.
I think it pissed him off, man, because he ain't
Right?
been back, man. He ain't been back in like a month, man.
Hey, it is what it is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it is. Yeah, hey, you know, he just lives right around the corner too,
Yeah.
and he's got a. The thing about it is, he's got an old square body Chevrolet, and it's got it's got the basic 350 high rise 4 barrel headers, you know, some turbo mufflers under it. So, man, you know, bro, I've been around motors and shit my whole life, man. I can tell a 350 Chevrolet with headers, man, from a mile away. So I hear him when he comes home and when he does, you know, he don't come over, man. I don't know, man, and you know what, man, go drown in your motherfucking sorrows, man. You know, cause that goddamn, man, I'm trying to, dude, man, they're gonna fuck around, and make Putin push some fucking buttons, bro. I'm just telling you,
Dude,
they.
it's getting fucking real over there. You know, I mean, if like I was saying earlier, they you know Ukraine, they're about to they're fucking around. They're about to find out. You know, they're dropping fucking dropping bombs right there on the center of Moscow, and you know, again, you know, you got the Russian government coming out and saying, you know what, you keep this shit up, we will use nukes to end this. You know,
Man,
so I mean, I know they've been singing that
right?
song all along, but I mean, we're just starting to see that the capital of Russia is getting hit now. So I don't know what the fuck people are gonna expect when Russia lights their asses up. You know, just
Dra-
saying.
Dragon Lady, I'll tell you straight up, um, it's hotter than Hades here at times, man. It's so goddamn hot when you walk out the door, man. That usually you hit a wall. It's like whoa, you know, and you're like shit. It's thick, man. It's fucking thick,
Yeah, it was a hot week up here too. We were in
man.
90, upper
Look,
90s all week up here.
even when we're down to like 88 degrees, it feels like 98 here because of the humidity.
You
So
can
it's
keep that.
yeah, it's like 100 degrees all the time, man. Here, shit. You get used to it though, man. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, we worked till like I don't know. I think we got home at 5:15 or something like that this evening. Can't remember exactly. Anyway, we got home and wasn't too long ago. Shit, man. You know it was you know like 98 degrees or whatever. I mean, I don't know. It felt pretty good to me actually.
Yeah, it's been hot. That's for sure.
Well, China is more of a threat because they're finding their codes and shit in our military system. They're fucking so much shit that they're they did you see about the little red classrooms and shit they're setting up?
No.
Yeah, man, they're talking I didn't get to read all the article, man. Like I said, I've been fucking busy, dude.
Yeah, I
Dang,
heard
I've
it.
been busy. But I read part of it, and they were talking about China had been like either trying to or had been setting up, and they found out basically they were backing some of these classrooms and shit, man. Like for like grade school shit. They were involved. Yeah, they were involved, man. Like the CCP was involved in this shit, man, trying to make it like get in there and indoctrinate our children to the communist shit, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. Actually, you know what? Now that you're talking about it, I think I did see something about that. Uh, the past week or so ago, I did see that.
Yeah, man. Well, hell, they tried to have police stations here too. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
man? Man, I wish, man, I wish the motherfucking Chinese would, man. I wished he would.
Well, they're
The
waiting for
motherfucker
active police.
walk up with a CCP uniform on, man. I rip that motherfucker off of him, man. Make him walk down the street naked, boy.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, come try that. Try that shit in a small town, right?
Right, on,
Shit.
right on. Yeah. We were gonna our town, man. We have our high school every year, man. They go down to the square down there, and there's a whole bunch of people show up and stuff, and they pray and stuff, man. They hold a prayer, you know, like for a couple of hours, man. They pray about shit.
Yep.
And so there was some talk on the Facebooks that you know, the BLMs was going to come up, you know, and Antifa's was going to come up and disrupt this.
Yeah, come on in.
The dude that owns a hardware store here, man.
Yeah, let's see how that works out.
His dad owned a hardware store for, man, I mean, years and years. And his dad's dead now, man. Got old and died. And this dude, he's like my age. The dude that owns it now, the son, you know. Man, when they posted that shit on Facebook, bro, he posted, he went out there and got a pallet on the forklift. He got on the pallet and he had, you know, one of his workers lift him up a little ways.
Yeah.
And he put a sign on there. He put an American flag. He's got a big wooden American flag. He put that on there. And he stood in front of that American flag with his AR and shit. Yeah. And he was like, "Come up here and find out what happens when you try to disrupt our prayer meeting."
Yep. And I think Pilgrim Prepper, he put it pretty much hit the nail on the head with that.
Around and find out exactly, yep. Man. Because and I knew about it, and so I went downtown, and I was easing around and shit, and I run into the dude, and I was like, "What's up, brother?" And he said, he held his AR up, and he said, "Man, looking for these motherfuckers." And I said, "Me too." And I held my AR up. You know, we're riding around downtown and shit down here, man, with our AR strapped. Man, it was a bunch of people, man. We went around this one corner, and it was several trucks sitting there, right? And it was these dudes, man, and we I know who they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to give no name. I don't even want to put no names out there right now, but you know, yeah. Man, we pulled up there and they're all fucking strapped and shit, and some of them are dangling ARs and shit. You know, it's like, yeah, people, man, I'm telling you, man, there was motherfuckers all over the place, man. They started. One dude was telling me, he's like, "Man, we got homeboy right up there, and another, you know, four guys over here, you know," and it's like, all right, well, we're going to keep driving around and looking too, you know. They never came up here, man.
Well, so that's why this you know, this song that we're alluding to is getting so much friggin' scrutiny, because small town in America is where America's at, right or wrong. I mean, that's where the morals and that's where the values survive, okay? And the rest of America looks upon that as, you know, as a threat. You know, the people that hate America, all right, the globalist elites, all right, you know who I'm talking about, all right.
I did, Dark Angel.
This is why they're making a stink about this particular song, because they all know, along with you, myself, and probably everybody else on here, that small town America is where it's at right now. That's what's left of America, you know.
Yep. Miss Sharon, what's up? What's up? Yeah, have you heard that new song, man?
McDonald's song, American
Yeah,
flags.
it's Tom McDonald and Adam Calhoun.
Check it out.
Bro, American flags, man. The motherfucker says straight up, man, when you see me, you ain't gonna see nothing but American flags.
Oh, Miss Sharon in here. What's up, Miss Sharon?
Yeah, Miss Sharon. Yeah, man. I tell you what, man. There's this that whole climate thing, man. You know, the thing that everybody needs to understand. I have no problem that the climate, man, has always changed,
It's been
and you
changing
know
since the dawn of time.
exactly. Okay, now what you got to understand is that once the carbon dioxide level um, once it gets down below 200, okay, it's hard for plants to survive. It's hard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes away the greenery and shit.
Right. Yeah.
It can't survive. Well, we're at around, they say around 416. Okay, they say we should be at 300. Okay, because all right, so apparently after like 500 or whatever, there's somewhere in there 500 or 600, it starts to get where nothing can survive because it's too much. Okay,
Right.
if you listen to the politicians and you listen to these elitists, they'll tell you what they're going to what their plan is.
Yeah.
Say it all the time, man. They do. Kamala Harris said it straight out the other day. People can say what they want to. She said what they fucking
Depopulation.
Depopulation. I mean, what is Bill Gates talked about? What is all these different climate folks been talking about? Depopulation. If you listen, you'll hear them say it.
Folks,
They'll,
I implore you to look up Agenda 2030. All right, it's
right.
all right there. What backwards is saying right now, it's all right there. It's right there in
So,
black and white.
so think about it, man. You know, you start a hell of a war like that, and and I seen in your chat earlier, man, that someone said with all the volcanoes that have been erupting, it's hard to differentiate between, the what the volcanoes have and what we actually put out.
Right.
Now the thing about it is like volcanoes and shit. One eruption puts out more than like we put out in like a couple of years and shit, or 10 years or some shit. It's like kind of crazy, and so if you look back, man, they've been telling us we're going to die forever.
Yep.
Well, and see, here's the thing now. Back when this country was big majority Christians, right? Think about this. Back when the country was big majority of Christians, what's one thing that a Christian is not supposed to be? Afraid.
Afraid. Okay.
The Bible says not to fear like 365 times, man.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most said words in the Bible. Do not, about not fearing. Man, look, bro, we're not supposed to fear. Okay, so you'll see a majority of Christians. Don't get me wrong. The human element side of it, you're going to be afraid. There's going to be people who are afraid to die. It's just the way it is. They're going to get scared. Yeah. But in the Christian faith, we're not supposed to be afraid to die. We're not supposed to be afraid. Well, if you have a nation that is like that, right? If you have a nation that's not afraid to die, all the fear tactics don't work.
Correct.
We're going to go to war. Okay, fuck. Yep. Let's do it. Man, we're going to die. Okay, good. I get to see God sooner, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm picking up what
And
you're putting down, and this is
you
why
see what I'm saying?
Christianity is under attack.
So this goes back to the good versus evil. See, man, and they've been destroying
Yep.
what's one of the first things you do to destroy a faith? You destroy one of the main things in it, which is marriage.
Yeah.
They have destroyed they have destroyed nuclear family. They have made a fucking joke out of marriage, man.
Yep.
They have made a joke out of that shit.
Yep.
Well,
It's
when you destroy marriage, see, what does what again? The Bible says a house divided cannot stand.
correct. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, well, when you divide the house, it can't stand. When the house can't stand, it crumbles. And what crumbles down is the marriage and the family. You know, that whole thing crumbles. So that's why they took Christianity out of school, prayers out of school. That's why they have done the things that they have started promoting, the transgenderism and things like that, because it's exactly opposite of God. They can go to church and act like they're all good and everything, but when they go and the Bible again speaks about when man lieth with man, it's an abomination to God.
Yeah.
So it gets to a point, man, to where it's like, damn, you can see this shit, how they have destroyed Christianity. They have destroyed the nuclear family. They have destroyed, the sanctity of marriage. They have now they are destroying our children.
And as a result, we lost our identity as a nation because of all
Exactly.
that. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely right, dude.
So when you put that together, man, it's real easy to see why we are where we are, man. Why everybody's terrified of Russia, man. Fuck Russia. Everybody's terrified of China. What they're going. There's a billion of them. Okay, well, there's more than a billion rounds in this country. We got heavy armament too. Just because you got a lot more rounds than me doesn't mean you can kick my ass.
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, them some bitches get up here in the hills with all these hillbillies and shit, man. You're going to hear a lot of these motherfuckers screaming, man. They not only are a lot of them going to die, but they're going to get raped too. It's like, we like that pretty mouth, boy.
Gonna make you squeal.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
No, but, but I mean, I'm just saying, man, it's so easy to see how they destroyed, how they, because once they destroy all that, man, the person the person themselves, man, they start to look on things and they go, well, damn, and I'll mention something about that for feminism in just a second, Dark Angel. So once they destroy that family, and you destroy that faith in God, whether anybody wants to admit this or not, when you don't have something that is of value to you, you know what I'm saying, in your heart, when you don't have that something that is of true value to you, you become cold and bitter.
Yep.
And that's when it's real easy to find, I mean, when they put the black screen in front of everybody's faces, man, and they made it to where, I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. There's been a couple of times I even, I'll leave and realize, fuck, where's my phone, and like pull over and shit and be looking, you know what I'm saying? Be like, damn, what'd I do with my phone? I look at my truck, and I'm like, oh, I'm not hooked to it, so it must be at home. And then I go back, So I mean, and if you think about how they easily brought in this phone thing, and now think about this: iPhone. Bible says men will be lovers of themselves in the end days. iPhone, iPad, selfie, take a selfie. You see what I'm saying, man? And you get these people, I mean, And now what they've done is they've made an AI God.
Yep.
There's an AI God. And there is also AI people that you can be
Mm-hmm.
hooked up with. You see what I'm saying? So they separate you from God and get you hooked on what they want you to know.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because if you go and read for yourself, you know, you'll start to see some of these things in the Bible and you'll be like, damn, man, you know, when you do something that's wrong, you feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, man, hold up. You know, I know this is wrong, you know. And that's the thing, man. When you these people, man, they have these evil fucking people have destroyed this planet, man. And so the thing on feminism, you know, the feminism, you know, started and you know the if you think about it, the a lot of the Bible talks about, you know, that the man is the leader of the household, right? And it doesn't mean that he's the master. You know, it doesn't mean any of that. What it all it means is that you're supposed to be the head. The you can take a household that a man consistently goes to church, and so too will his wife and kids.
Yep.
Now you can take a household that, you know, is just with the wife. The kids end up not going pretty quickly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times the wife will fall out. Okay, you know, a lot of people when the Bible talks about wives submit to your husbands. Okay, they're just talking about through the religious side and through the the household. But see what a lot of people miss, because they're real quick to bring up wives submit to your husbands, right? A lot of people are quick to bring that up, especially feminists, but they don't read the part that comes next. And it said, husbands, love
Mm-hmm.
your wives as Christ loved the church.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Christ died for the church, for the body, for the people. That's what
Yep.
the church is. The
Yep.
church is not four walls, you know. It's where two or more gather in my name, there I will be. You know, man, and dude, they have destroyed that, man. They try to hook you up on online and shit, man. And you know, I mean, I've seen some videos, man, where some of these people are playing the ads and shit, you know, and saying, man, look at this shit, man, this is destroying the family.
Yeah.
And the ads for, like, there was an ad for one of them AI girlfriends or whatever,
Yep.
and it was like, and this ad was like, it's not cheating because it's not real.
Oh, man.
And you can do or say anything with this AI girlfriend. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? That's what do you, I mean,
Twisted.
dude, you're fantasizing about something else other than your wife, man.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, and it's
The
like, bro,
same. It's
you
the
know,
same fucking difference, man.
yeah, it's the same difference, man. You
The
know
fact
why it's
that
the
people
same
would.
difference? Because that's actually just opposite of the word of God, which, you know, we know Satan is the opposite of God. And when it said, because the Bible speaks, you know, and God speaks about, you know, if a man look upon a woman with lust, he is therefore committing that sin. He is, you know, while he's married, he is committing, you know, he's committed an adultery.
Yep.
So that why, you know, you see what I'm saying? And so that's how they're changing everything, man. You know, they're and dude, you know, that's why, man, I'm just, man, I've been putting my head down and going to work, making money, making all the money I can, and accomplishing things, you know, that I need to accomplish. I'm saving some money so I can go, because the month of October, man, I'm pretty much going to be on vacation the whole month.
Nice. Nice.
uh, I've got
What you got going on?
Well, I've got the North Carolina meetup, muzzleload season,
Yeah.
and then the Hutch's private party.
Okay. Their season pretty much kicks off tomorrow here in Rhode Island, and I say it because they're gonna be. That's when we can purchase our licenses. So, and then in 2 weeks from now, I can go out and put my stands up and get my ground blind set. So I'm psyched up for it.
But what? Yeah. So the whole feminism thing, man. It's for it's it's really to you know make women angry at men. And when you're angry, guess what? You don't you don't want to be with that person. You know what I'm saying? You're angry towards them people, so then you just get angry towards the whole group. You know what I'm saying? Is there bad men out there? You fucking right there are. There's trash pieces of shit men out there. No doubt about it. But there's also the same thing in women. And man, it's just crazy, dude. Dark Angel talking about the Bible. Eve was created to be Adam's helper, not his equal. God said, well, this is not God. This this deal that I read said that God made a woman from a man's rib, not from a part of his head to top him, not from a part of his foot to be trampled on by him, but instead from his rib, from the side, so that she could be beside him, up under his arm to be protected by him. There's one on that one.
Pilgrim Prepper mentioned it earlier. It all starts in the mind. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. We gotta. It's just like you were saying earlier, backwards a few minutes ago. You're doing the things. You're keeping busy. You're making that money. You're accomplishing those goals. And most importantly, we're all free thinkers, and we're not allowing ourselves to be manipulated and to be sucked in to this system that is being propagated against us.
Mm-hmm. Man, I tell you, dude.
Gotta keep it real.
It's yeah, and that's that was one of the reasons that I came up with the saying that I did at the end of a lot of my videos is when you prepare your mind properly, things will fall into place.
Yep.
And a lot of that had to do with the Bible, is putting on that full armor of God, man. And the main part of that armor is that head shield, man, because that head has to be protected completely, bro, because you could take a hell of a lick to the body, right? But you take a hell of a lick to the head, man, and it distorts you.
Yep.
So when you're putting on the full armor of God, you got to make sure that you've got the good head shield on, and that's preparing your mind through the Word of God to be able to, when I say things will fall into place,
Mm-hmm.
that's because these things fall into place. You can see the evil. You can see what's wrong. You can, your eyes are open. You're awake, to what's going on. Not woke, but you're awake.
Yeah.
You
Right
know,
on, brother.
big difference. And so that's why I always
That's why you always preach that. I get it. You know? Yeah, you got to be independent, Lynn. You know,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
need more of that. I got 3 daughters, so that's the biggest thing I want from them is to be independent. Well, 2.5. I got one cooking, but
we'll see. Dark Angel, I don't blame you for that a bit. I mean, that's no life to live, and I don't believe that God intended you to be in that position. You know,
Yeah, everybody has their demons, you know. And it's just like what you said earlier, backwards. You know, you gotta when you fall down, you gotta get back up and keep going. You know, have that armor on and be solid.
I tell you, you know, Dark Angel and Lynn both. You know, Miss Sharon, any of you that are single, you know, I'm, I'm not trying to tell you you should go get a man. That's not what I'm telling you. But what I'm saying is, if you do meet somebody that you're, you know, that heightens your you know, hey, looky there, you know, if you do meet someone, real talk, you know, little things will tail off on him so quickly. Number one, does he walk when y'all go out? Does he walk? Does he always make you walk on the inside next to the building,
Right.
away from the curb, away from the vehicles? Does he always want to sit to with his back to the wall where he can
Yep.
see the door?
Yes, sir.
That's because he's protecting you. There's little things. Does he walk in the door first or let you walk in the door first? You know what I'm saying? And now that's not. It's not always a man. A man should never let a woman walk in to every single place first. There are certain places that a man should walk into first.
You
Like
know what
when
goes up my ass
what's
when
that?
I see a woman pumping gas while the dude's sitting in a car. You ever see that?
Yep, yep. That never happens
Exactly
with
what you're talking. That's exactly what you're talking about right there.
hell. My wife, you know, when she travels to work and stuff back and forth, there's a lot of times, man, she'll be like, I got to get some gas for tomorrow, and I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. I'll go with you, you know, and she'll drive, you know, because it's her car, man. She sits way different than I do in the seat, so I have to move it all around and shit, and then she has to move it all back. So, yeah, you know, um, so I let her drive, but I go up there and pump the gas. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's you know, but that thing, what I was talking about before about opening the door, but don't you know, a man, a good man, like when y'all get home, for instance, a good man will walk into the house first. Always. I never let my wife and kids go in the house first. I always walk in there first, just in case somebody's in there.
Yeah.
Now in a restaurant, yes, I open the door for my wife and I walk in, you know, just directly behind her. But them little things right there are some very easy, good telltale signs of a good man or not. If he's that considerate, there's it's you know, he's probably a little more worth looking into.
No, absolutely spot on. And sadly, that's becoming a thing of the past in today's society. But yep. Um,
You know, like my wife doesn't smoke and I do. I don't smoke around my wife. I come outside to smoke. I don't smoke in the car with my wife. Even if I smoke in my truck, but not when my wife's in there.
right.
You know what I mean? Things like that, man. They're, you know, yeah. Let him, Dragon Lady. Let him. Seriously, if he's trying to, that's what he's supposed to do is protect you. You know, and a really and a man that's in for your best interest won't they won't like they'll that let me just say it like this because I can't think of the right word to say there. Like my wife can have any guy friend she wants. I have no problem with it because I trust her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And she trusts me. I have friends, girls that I talk to, online and stuff. She knows. I mean, hell, you can hear me talking outside of my shop anyway, and my shop is like 5 feet off of my carport, my house right there. It's like right there.
Yep.
You know.
A good man will also let his woman be independent.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And you know, I think uh, to have good chemistry in a relationship is to recognize those boundaries, and ask yourself what you can tolerate and what you cannot tolerate, and be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And for those women that run into these men that have those red flags and pretty much are not allowing the woman to be that independent
Right.
mindset, and not and just walking all over their boundaries, it's time to give them the boot, you know.
Shit, my wife makes more money than I do, man. What you talking about? She's got her own thing going there, man. And there's times, shit, she's like, well, me and aunt and my mom and yada yada. We're gonna go to Tennessee to whatever. Okay, we'll see you when you get back. It's like
Yep.
you know.
All right, folks, I'm getting ready to wrap this. Backwoods, man. Real talk, brother. Appreciate you coming on up, hanging out for a little bit. And
You see, you see my ghost design shirt.
yeah, I like that. I saw that he was making the t-shirts. Yeah, I like that. Good
Man,
shit right there.
bro, I still been watching you and stuff, man. Like I said, a lot of times I'm just having to do the rewatch because my wife had been on vacation like for like a month, man. And
Yeah.
so I was because I am working so much, so when we get home in the evening, she, like we've been spending time together.
Yeah.
So,
All right. All right. It's
but
all good,
she's off
though.
vacation now, and we're kind of back to our normal routine. So,
Nice. Nice. All right. Gonna be seeing some more backwoods lives then.
hopefully,
Everybody sub up to backwoods if you haven't already. I'm sure everybody on there knows that subbed up.
man, man, don't sub to that crazy man. There's something wrong with that dude, man.
Nah,
He ain't right.
Backwards was the one that gave me my shot. That was the first time going on a panel was with you. So, you know,
Shit, ain't no big deal.
well, to me it is. I don't forget shit like that, man. But listen, hang out in the backstage for a minute. I want to get at you with something. And,
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about something too. So yeah, it's all good. I ain't going nowhere just yet.
all right, folks. Hey, listen. Thanks for being here tonight. Every Monday night, 9 p.m. Doc Angel, we'll work something out. We'll see if we can get you up next Monday night. I'll shoot you some emails during the week, my sister, and I'll see y'all next week. All right.
Man, real talk, everybody, like straight up, legit. Get out and do the things, man. Don't let this shit get you down because you're tougher than that. Get out there. The world will kick the shit out of you, man. And you know what you do? You reach down and pull your bootstraps up and you kick the shit out of it right back.
Hell yeah.
Peace out, y'all.
All right, folks. What he said. Laters.